Hey everybody, this is Captain Fool reporting for duty, giving you my weekly comic book review. So sit back and enjoy. Alright everybody, for those of you that know the drill, I go over a bunch of comic books for the week that I chose to read. Now I didn't have time to read everything, so if I missed something you think I should have read, let me know in the comments below. Also, you may disagree with me on some of my choices. If that's the case, that's alright. Let me know below. Let's just try to keep it civil. My goal is to bring back the old school yard days, where we would be in discussing what hero could beat who or what comic book was good and not. And I come armed with my trusty notes, so you'll hear the paper rattle because I do it a little bit old school. I do my grading on a scale of 0 through 10, 7 being average as a 70%. So I'm using schoolyard grading. But that's not all. I also use the League of Comics Geeks to give you other people's views as well as a brief overview of the comic book as well. So let's jump right in. Welcome back, friends, to the weekly comic book review. Thanks for joining me today. Of all the things you could be doing, you chose to break out your guns and be here. Woo, yeah. I didn't read a whole lot of comic books this week, so I didn't review a whole lot, so I thought I would try something a little different because there was a comic book series that just started. I thought, hey, I'll check it out, and that's Silverhawks issue number 1. Yeah, do you remember Silverhawks, the cartoon? I know it wasn't the biggest thing, but I always thought it was sort of cool, and the designs were cool, and I thought the cover, the main cover is pretty interesting. It had some alternate covers that, they were all right. But anyway, so I checked out Silverhawks number 1, and it looks like League of Comics Geeks is changing it up a little bit, maybe, or it's just something this week. I don't know. They gave it a 3.7 rating, mostly positive with only 17 ratings. It's just, I guess the view way is a little different. 17, that means not a lot of people got this book probably, which is, in my opinion, maybe a shame, because I gave it a 7.6. I think it's off to a strong start with the writer Ed Brisson. I remember his writing on Iron Fist, I thought it was all right. And artist is George Kamabadias, which I probably butchered that exactly. Well, anyway, what we have is a society here that is completely peaceful, so they're not used to much of anything. That's the setting there. Is because the old guard, if you will, the old police force, stopped the mob boss Monstar, and since then they really rendered crime way down. But in this book, Monstar breaks out. He goes on a rampage, and a bunch of the police officers, the law enforcement, get injured and hurt. And the old guard realizes, hey, we barely stopped this guy before. We're older now. We probably don't have the ability to do it anymore. We're going to have to get a new interplanetary force to stop Monstar. And so what we're doing is we're getting an intro to the cast of the Silverhawks in this one. So I like the cover art. It's decent art throughout the book too. I think this is a good intro, especially if you never watched the cartoon and you know nothing about the characters. This is good because you get an insight into that as well. So good if anybody has never checked out Silverhawks, but yet I don't think it poo-poos on anybody that was a Silverhawks fan. So it sort of pleases everybody. Maybe something some of the major comic book publishers like Marvel and DC should consider doing is realize your audience. Don't cut off your audience to try to get a new one. You need to try to find ways to appeal to both because it is possible with good writing. The next book I want to talk about is Green Lantern number 19. I've been a Green Lantern fan for many, many years since I was a little tyke, and boy, was that a long time ago. The book had a 3.8 rating, mostly positive with 209 ratings. Letting me think that, okay, this book is off to a good selling start so far, or actually maintaining, because it's up to issue 19 now. It's maintaining that. And I gave the book a strong 7.6. The writer's Jeremy Adams, and artist is Eau Claire Albert, and Jason Paz and Fernando Parzan. Please don't at me, because everybody knows I butcher all names. It has some alternate covers. Most of them are, not that special in my opinion. The incentive cover is okay. They're not bad. The main cover is good enough too. This book has decent art, I think, throughout as well. So anyway, we have a new era of Green Lantern Corps beginning here still. It started from like last issue, the new teams put together. Things are different, right? And so I really enjoy it because it's Green Lantern. We're getting a lot of different Green Lanterns here. So if you're a Green Lantern fan, if not just Hal Jordan, you like the other ones, you're going to get some of them too. And I think that's what makes this book interesting. Yes, Hal Jordan, I think, is definitely the main character in that, but I think he should be. He's sort of like the main Green Lantern that everybody knows, but we also get a spackle of the other Green Lanterns that we like. Guy Gardner, John Stewart, and some of the newer ones too that are absolutely great. So anyway, they're given their new mandate, to patrol the galaxy like before, but there's an issue within the universe and the powers there with the emotional spectrum. So decent cover, decent art, second chances are granted in this issue as well. Yeah, I think I want you to read that to see what that is. I think that was a nice touch. It's also nice to see Hal Jordan being happy. You don't get to see this very much there. He's really quite happy. So the emotional spectrum is a mess. Will it be the end of the DC universe? Only time will tell. Check out none other than Green Lantern number 19. The next book I want to talk about is what I've been could not wait to get, and the cover just really lures me in, and that's Spider-Boy, issue number 15. I'm kidding. Nobody gives a crap about Spider-Boy. That book is dumb. That character's stupid as can be. I mean, who really likes Spider-Boy? If you like Spider-Boy, let me know. Am I missing something here? This is just another Dan Slott was create a character to try to make me money with piggybacking off another character with no originality. Completely stupid. And when I look at it, it's got 54 ratings, so that's not, it's mid-tier sales, maybe a little bit temporary above, but up to issue 15, so maybe it has legs and staying power. Not for me, though. I just think it's stupid. I couldn't stand the character on its inception. All right, so in reality, the next book I want to talk about is Moon Knight, Fists of Khonshu number 4. I think the cover is pretty cool, by the way, right off the bat there. It's got some nice cover there. Anyway, 44.4, rating, very positive, with 191 ratings. Yes, so Moon Knight is kicking the crap out of Spider-Boy, just for the records, okay, of idea of what the sales are. I gave this book a strong score, too, with a 7.5. The writer is Jed McKay, artist is Dev Prackman. The one thing I don't like about the ongoing Moon Knight deal is they keep doing it like a mini-series. You get so many issues, boom, they restart number 1. Is that to fictitiously or fake try to inflate the sales due to speculators that buy number 1s? I don't know. Is it working for them? I don't know. Is it to do trades, make more money in the trades because Moon Knight sells better in trades? I don't know. I don't get it. Who knows? Anyway, as a dangerous new street drug tears through the city, Moon Knight sets about cleaning the streets the only way he knows how, by punching everybody in the face. But, as you know, the police have been corrupted, and, well, there's a lot of changes due to this Fairchild character peddling his drugs and shifted the blame onto Moon Knight and really set him up. So, can Moon Knight get past this? Well, Moon Knight's got a lot of problems. He's ticked off some people in his team, too, and he has to start by taking out a pile of vermin. Yep, decent art in this book, decent story progression as well. Can Moon Knight also patch up that relationship with Tigra? I hope so. He didn't tell her about somebody important in her life actually being alive that everybody thought was dead. Pym. And I can see where that would piss somebody off, but he had a reason for that. Can they get past that? I don't know. I hope so. I do enjoy seeing them as a couple. And get ready for the next issue if you read this one, because it looks like next issue it's going to be a slugfest between Fairchild and Moon Knight, unless Fairchild, lies, cheats his way through something, which he may do. But interesting issue if you're a Moon Knight fan. If you're not, I get it. Some people they think he's sort of a spin-off of Batman. I find him to be an interesting character, and the background characters, the supporting characters of this book have been very interesting too. Like, who thought anybody would give a crap about 8-Ball, right? But it's actually been pretty good. So, hey, more power to you. Good job, Moon Knight. Yeah. All right, the next book I want to talk about is Deadpool number 10 with a 4.1 rating with a 93 ratings on League of Comics Geeks, and I gave it a 7.5. It's been all right. And anyway, the writer is Cody Ziegler, artist is Rogue Antonio, and there is no mean intent if I butcher these up. Here, my chair. squeak, squeak. I guess I need to oil it up a little bit. And why? Because why do we have this issue? Well, just so you know, as we all knew, Deadpool would not be gone. Right? He's too popular of a character, making too much money. So he is back. He was back, I think, last issue, if I recall. And so now he's back in the fight. But here's the thing. You know, there's a cost with this resurrection. Both Wade and his daughter Ellie cannot heal as fast. Their healing powers have been reduced. So now he's got to learn to fight in a different way. Because you've always known Deadpool didn't give a crap about his body because he knew he was going to heal back. So, hey, you cut this off, who cares? Well, now it's a little bit more, the stakes are risen here. And I'm hoping this is temporary because it's one of the things that makes the character cool. But this is a nice side story with that in that regard. So, you know, good. Also, this book has a good start with a joke about the Deadpool's success in the box office. Great fourth wall break there. Deadpool's, as I said, healing powers cut in half, so he has to learn, right, and reskill. And who's going to teach him, of course? Taskmaster, which I think is good. Though, even though he still played a bit of a joke, Taskmaster deserves to be treated better. I don't know why the last few years they've treated him as a joke against enemies, where actually he's very good. He used to train tons of villains and things, and you know, especially the stooges, if you will, and he can mimic fighting styles and stuff, which makes him really, really cool. But they just never seem to, the last few years, treat him worthwhile where he really could be. And he gets a little bit of that here. They throw in the elements of jokiness from the Deadpool series, but they also bring and show what makes him so good. So anyway, the team is in desperate need of cash, so they decide to take a job. At the end, they keep hinting at, hey, we're taking a job, but this job's going to bring a lot of superhero heat on us. And who is it? Well, the job is to eliminate none other than Miles Morales. And I might be in the minority here, but I really do. I hope they get him. Take out Miles Morales. I'm sorry, but Miles Morales was great when he was in the Ultimate Universe. He was a legacy character that took over after Peter Parker died. But when they moved him out of that universe, he really lost anything that made him special. He was just another spider kind of guy running around, and they've tried to change him with changing his outfits, which is usually a sign of trying to stimulate interest and changing the power sets a little bit here and there. I know he's popular with non-comic book readers with those movies, which I thought were overrated, but I know I am pissing some people off here, right? And I'm sure I am, and they're gonna, I know they're all mad at me. I get it. But I just don't get the appeal of the character. I think if they want that character to really shine, I hear they're possibly rebooting the Ultimate Universe more. I mean, I know they're already doing stories within that. Move them to that universe. I think then they can make that character shine, because he was good when he was the Spider-Man, but when we have all these other ones, it's just too much. So that is what it is. So anyway, as I said, I gave this Deadpool book a 7.5 before my rant. And I did like it.
Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by my wallet. Yeah, I'm not trying to push any kind of wallet or pimp any wallet out. What I mean is it's sponsored by my personal wallet and the cash that comes out of it to pay for these things. If you want to help with this, you can hit like, subscribe, that notification bell. Those are great ways to get started. But if you find yourself in a position where you can help the channel more, we have a Patreon and a subscribe star down below that you can click on those links. And for as little as $1 a month, you'll have special videos and things to just you, music that you can get. Or maybe if you wanted to, a one-time donation just to help out, we have a Streamlabs link down below. Or we also have, if you go to the Patreon shop, you could buy a song for like $3. I wish I could put them a little lower, but that's the minimum they allow for that. So there's lots of options. Sometimes you might even see an Amazon link. If you want to buy anything through Amazon, click on my link first, then go through there. That'll give me a couple pennies, possibly that way too as well. So there's lots of ways you can help out the channel, because without you, it would not be possible. So thank you, everybody. And let's get back to the video.
Now the next one I've been teetering on. I like it, and don't like some aspects of it, and that's West Coast Avengers #3. Right now has a 4.1 average rating with 117 ratings on League of Comics Geeks, showing it's very positive, and I give the book a strong 7.4. The writer is Jerry Duggan, and artist is Danny Kim, and author Hasil, which I probably butchered. Now, the standard cover is okay for this. I think it has some more interesting alternate covers. I mean, one of them has even got Wonder Man, which sort of doesn't make sense, because Wonder Man, is not in this series at all. Granted, he was a staple in the West Coast Avengers previously, And I just thought that cool, but let's be honest. The only reason he's probably on there is because he's got a TV show coming, which still won't make anybody gravitate towards this character because the TV show doesn't match the character at all. I don't get that, why Marvel has to do that with their TV shows. All the race swapping just for the fact of and sake of doing it. Just like, I'm going to segue here just a little bit. The new Spider-Man cartoon. Yes, they've already bragging, and I've heard this before. We're picking up 2 new seasons. When they take a character set that everybody knows, so they attract a lot of attention, and then they race and gender swap everything and make it completely different. Now, please don't take it as a racist or homophobic, sexist, whatever you want to throw in there. But I am one of those people that I want to see my character jump off the page. I came from a time period where if we got a hero movie, which was usually on TV or something, it was rare, and that was something special. So we wanted to see him jump off the page. And when we see that and we look at that, and we're like, oh, Doc Connors is a black female scientist? That doesn't make sense. That's MJ? It doesn't work in my opinion. But anyway, they love to throw it in everybody's face, supposedly about how good that cartoon is doing. So they give it 2 seasons. But remember, we've heard that before, right? With a Scooby-Doo show. Yeah, they bragged about how good it was doing, but everybody said, this show sucks. This is stupid. You're being unfair to these characters. This doesn't fit. And so it didn't really go as well as they thought. I tend to wonder if we're getting the same Scooby-Doo treatment here with this stupid Spider-Man cartoon. Yeah, I think it sucks. Well, anyway, back to the West Coast Avengers, because I know, get back on track, right? I know. This book has decent art, decent story progression, and it's an interesting story here. We have a different take on the Ultrons about how they're sort of separated, but they've created their own terrifying new religion. Yeah, it's like they're a cult. Of them, but they mean well so far, and so it's causing problems. Like, what are we going to do about this? And so that's interesting. Also, we get another taste of the Illuminati being back, or always here, and we just didn't know about it. I don't know. And Illuminati usually ends up being a pain in the butt of some sort, causing, in my opinion, a lot of problems. So we're going to get that. Interesting book, interesting take on things, trying to get villains to sort of Thunderbolts, like take some villains and reform them a little bit. We have some heroes that are struggling a little bit, like Firestar, which I'm not a fan of the new outfit. I liked her more traditional one, but that's just me. I do like the throwback though with Iron Man, even though the story reason why is because his limited amount of armors he has is from a period of the West Coast Avengers, as well as the War Machine armor, so I think that's a nice touch. It's an interesting, different type of book with a different take, and I'm interested in continuing reading it right now. What are your thoughts on that? I would like to know. Well, thank you everybody for watching this video and taking the time to support me in this channel today. We've been getting a lot of support, and I really appreciate it. And if I stepped on your toes before getting all mad, which you probably already didn't even listen this far, you've already typed your mad, pissed off rant in the keyboard, right, on the keyboard to get it in the comments. But maybe think about this. Let's share our views on the comic books without actually being pissed at each other, because usually when we start calling each other names means that we really don't have any way to back up our thoughts and things. We're just being emotional. Let's try to be, like a couple comic book geeks in a comic shop. That's the point of these videos. A couple comic geeks ran into each other at a comic shop and said, hey, you reading this issue? Yeah, I don't really care for it that much. Oh, really? I love it, and this is why. Or I don't care for it, and this is why. And you know what? That's okay, and that's part of the fun. Thank you everybody for your support. Take care, and you know what, try to be some salt in the earth, bless some other people. Take care, and may you all be blessed and have wonderful lives. Until next time, keep it frugal.